Hello Aries, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energy and predictions for the sign of Aries for the end of April. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and get right into this reading here for you and see what's coming forward for you as we close out the month of April. So the timeline on this reading will be from April 21st, so the last week of April, all the way to May 12th. Reason I chose May 12th is that is the full moon in Scorpio. So we'll get all the cards out here, get everything in view, and then we'll get right into the reading for you. All right. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom, you have the Sun card. So right now you may be stepping into, or you may be experiencing perhaps one of the best periods of your life, or like at its extreme form, the Sun can represent like one of the happiest or the best periods of your life. It can be like a peak moment or a peak experience. If that's not it, this can say that right now, like you're feeling extremely happy about something, okay? It's the best card in the tarot. You always want to see this card in a reading. Also, it represents optimism in the tarot, so you may have a good mindset or you may have an optimistic outlook on something. Also, kind of this idea of like living free. You can see the child here on the back of the horse. They're kind of just living without attachments, right? And kind of living their best life. So this can really indicate the idea of living your best life as well in the tarot. It's and kind of like removing attachments, letting go of the things that aren't working, and kind of really living in bliss, living in your happiness. I know that's a lot, but it is what the Sun card is all about. Taking a look here, you have an extremely positive reading, Aries. You're actually the last sign I am doing for this series, so I'm very glad to see this for you here, Aries. Looks like some of you are making progress in work and business. Wow. There's a lot here, so let's just dive in. In the middle of the spread, you have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords says that you could be getting a new beginning. This can represent success as well in the tarot. Both the Sun and the Ace of Swords can represent success, but this is success as you start something new. Okay, so any projects that I think you are undergoing or starting right now could be the real deal. Okay, anything new that you're starting right now, it seems like it's a good time to be doing this. I would say the astrology also supports that, as we're past retrogrades, we're past the first two eclipses. It's kind of like a green light right now. And it seems like anything you're undergoing could be auspicious. This is a breakthrough in the tarot, the Ace of Swords. This can also represent an epiphany. Some of you may feel like, you know, it would be better, like it's a better energy to take on the energy of happiness. Now, you can't force happiness, but some of you may be having an epiphany like, you know, this thing that was making me dip into a negative frequency, there's no reason that I need to be taking that on, right? So some of you may also be having like an epiphany around your happiness or around whatever it is that you're doing at this time. And yeah, you may be having a breakthrough in that way as well. Okay. In the first column here, you have the Four of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Three of Pentacles. All right. So where do I want to start here? First, I would usually start at the Four of Swords, but I will say the Three of Pentacles, I think, is where I'm going to choose to start. And you can see that the people on the card are sort of looking at a blueprint or building plans or some sort of work that they've been doing. This can represent collaboration. This can represent important work or important projects that you are doing in your life. And what I will say is with the Ace of Swords, that can also be about putting plans in motion, or actually It can be like the first steps of building a plan or building something. And I would say that you have some major supporting energy for that type of thing at this time, Aries, for you, especially with this diagonal of the Three of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. Anything you start right now seems to be supported for you. Okay? There could also be some harmonious partnerships and alliances in your life. Like you may be collaborating in a successful and harmonious way. If you are in a career, or even if you own a business and you work with others in your business, this is all very, very much supported for you, okay? You then have let's go to the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords can see you maybe needing a period of rest, okay? It's possible that some of you need some time to gather your thoughts or organize things, typically around the thought process, I think, in this case. But this person's actually healing from a challenging or heartbreaking situation. The Three of Swords is on the banner above this person, but they are fully healing from this situation. So it's sort of like coast is clear when you get the Four of Swords. It also indicates your sleep pattern and a period of rest, okay? So maybe some of you are looking to integrate a new habit, maybe around your like sleep hygiene or something like this as well at this time. This has been coming in for many signs for this series of readings that I'm doing. Something around sleep, something around habits. This is coming in very heavily for the collective that watches me here on YouTube. You then have the Hanged Man or the Hanged One here in this deck. So the Hanged Man is inaction, okay? It's purposeful inaction when you get the Hanged Man, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes we have to take moments, right? Sometimes we need to practice inaction before we sort of leap into something. And it may mean that you need a period of rest here with the Four of Swords and the Hanged Man. Both of these cards represent inaction. And then also you can see these people here, they're not really taking action, they're looking at the plan, right? So maybe this is a perfect time for you to strategize, to game plan, to put things in motion, or to think about putting things in motion. Like the period that comes before the actual motion, this may be the right time for you to do something like this. Hanged Man's been coming in for everyone, really, in this series. And I will say that I've been looking at the Hanged Man as sort of like a minimalism message, or the sometimes need to eliminate things that are not the right thing for us. So this person really has no material possessions. They are comfortable with what they have. And I don't say that in like a scarcity type of way. I say that like if there's one thing that you're doing that's not supporting you in setting up these plans, maybe eliminating that thing. And you'll know what that is, and maybe that doesn't exist for you, maybe it does. You'll have to fit this into your situation. In the middle column here, you have the Empress, the Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, so the Empress is abundance in the tarot. It's also fertility, okay? The Empress is a very good sign as well. You have two very, very good cards in the Sun and the Empress. The Empress says that there's fertile ground for you to nurture and grow something. This is a fertility symbol in the tarot, but I would like to see the Ace of Wands with that instead of the Ace of Swords. So in this case, what the Empress can talk about is like this plan that you have here, this new beginning here, it's fertile, right? Like you can really approach this as your baby. Okay, whatever, Aries people right now are starting something very important. And it seems like the cards here are really, really supporting you in this. And so if you have a strong feeling about it, I think this is a great time. Now, what's interesting is in this first column, you have this sort of build-up phase. In the middle column here, you have the action phase. Okay, with the Ace of Swords, that can be taking action, breakthroughs, epiphanies. And the Eight of Wands as well is swift energy. Okay, it's something that sweeps you off your feet. It can even be accelerated motion in the tarot. It's also communication here as well, but it's a very auspicious card in a reading like this as well. And so what I would say here is perhaps towards the end of April, maybe last week of April, like let's say the week of the 21st, timing's very hard, but this is what I'm going to go with. You're like in this build-up phase, as you progress through the rest of April and into May, you're probably taking momentum and action around this. So I really like this reading for you so far. In the final column, you have the Nine of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Seven of Cups here. Okay, so I think that this idea of the Hanged Man is important here because this person is not overwhelmed. They are singularly focused on enlightenment, really, if you see the halo around them. The Seven of Cups is kind of the opposite of this. Seven of Cups says that you may be overwhelmed by just like everything that you have in front of you. You may have so many choices and options and things in front of you that it feels like right now you're not sure which cup to choose, so to speak. Okay? So I think the message here is to remember that like singular focus that you have on around this project or this new beginning, and to kind of allow that to be your guidepost. Because along the path, from point A to point B, it's never a straight line, and there are always going to be things that, pull us away from the end goal. But it's up to you to kind of return to the path. And that could be what the Seven of Cups is talking about. You really do have it within you to start this new thing. You do, Aries. And yeah, there may be tests along the way, trials along the way, but as long as you can return to that path, you can return to center and go towards the core mission here, I think that this is hugely, there's a huge potential in all of this for you. You have the High Priestess here, which can be desirability, in the tarot. This is a desirable person in relationships, in love, but it can also represent your spiritual foresight or your spiritual insight. This can also be a way shower in the tarot. It can talk about connecting to your dreams and even connecting to your spirituality. Especially like with business, sometimes we feel like very spiritually aligned to business or to some goal that we have. The High Priestess may be showing you that here in this reading. There also may be something about meditation with the Hanged Man and the High Priestess for you. I'm not saying you have to meditate, but there may be something there. Maybe there's just a spiritual practice that gives you comfort. For some of you, that may be going to church. For others of you, that may be meditating. For others of you, it may be yoga or doing something like whatever that gives you spiritual comfort. Then you have the Nine of Cups. That is a great card that can indicate wishes coming in and also feeling content and totally happy in your situation. So this is very positive. I really have not seen a reading this positive in a long time. So this is incredible. Why don't we go ahead and take a look here at the Oracle cards, and let's see what the Oracle cards have for you. So we'll start the clarifications off that way. Okay. And was there a card that was upright? Let me see here. So you can see this with me. I think there was one. Let's see here. Am I wrong? I might be. Oh, nope, there it is. Wow, look at that. Look for a sign. That's incredible. All right, and let me take one more for you here. And let's take a look at the energy on the bottom as well. Success. Yeah. It is amazing how these Oracle cards can really connect to the tarot. But I've been saying throughout this whole reading, whatever you're starting seems to really have some legs. And you could have some major success in whatever it is that you're doing. I love that this is the card that was upright. Look for a sign. We were looking for the card. With the High Priestess here and the Hanged One or the Hanged Man, Spirit's supporting you on this journey that you're undergoing. You then have You're Ready and Trust. You're Ready is like the final card. It's like the World card in this Oracle deck. Very positive message here. So you spent the time game planning. You spent the time strategizing. Now it's time to put plans in motion. You then have It's Up to You and If You Believe. Belief is a very important concept that some people lose. It's the combination of belief and action. Manifestation really is the combination of belief and action. So it's up to you to kind of combine both of those things. You have to believe in what you're doing, you have to strategize around what you're doing, and you also have to act. And if you can bring these three things together, you can have something special there for you. All right, let's go ahead and let's start to clarify the Original 9 cards with some more cards. Now, Aries, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Hope things are going well. All right. Let's see here. You have the 9 of Swords, the Moon, interesting, this is why we clarify, and the 2 of Pentacles. So this reading is still very positive, but now we see here that maybe you're getting a little, what is the term? Cold feet? Wet feet, cold feet, I think that's what it is. Stage fright, right? Like, there, in the clarifications here, with the 9 of Swords and the Moon, both of those cards can talk to fears being present in your life. Fear is a natural part of us being here, okay? Without fear, we would all be running through red lights, okay? Fear is just an emotion that we have to have as humans. But there's a point where the fear gets out of control and we allow fear to dominate our lives. And so it's going to be up to you to sort of like work with it, tame it, right? Handle it. And it feels like the worst thing you could do in a reading like this is allow yourself to succumb to total fear, right? Because the coast is clear for you. And this almost feels like, and I was going to say this, I wanted to see what the clarifications are. This could feel like a life-changing opportunity or a life-changing new beginning for you, Aries. Truly, it does, because you don't see a reading like this very often. Now, there's something that you there's like one piece of this that it's not pieced together yet, okay? There's one element of this that's not quite finished. It feels like you're going to be wrapping it up here probably sometime the first portion of this time frame that we're looking at. Because the 2 of Pentacles, it can indicate like a change in state of the money, right? The status, your financial status changing a little bit temporarily. This is temporary, okay? Because this person's juggling the Pentacles, so it's not forever. So there's like maybe one piece here that is missing. The Moon can also represent something missing or hidden. And the 9 of Swords is your fears or your anxieties, maybe even your dreams, nightmares. But overall, this is very good. You have Justice, King of Wands, and the Sun again. Amazing. So to start this, you're a little unsure of how to start this, okay? But the big thing here is absolutely taking action and going through with it. I can't make you do that. I can't necessarily tell you to do that, but I can only tell you what the cards are saying. And it feels like this is a big opportunity for you. It really does. With the Sun and the 8 of Wands, Sun twice is definitely what you want to see. I think some of you are probably self-employed or entrepreneurs here with the King of Wands. Okay, this isn't going to be for everyone, but the King of Wands is the entrepreneur of the tarot. This is somebody who absolutely loves and has fun in what they're doing for work. If they're not having fun, if they're not enjoying it, they're not doing it, period. They have to be totally aligned to whatever it is that they're doing for work. That is the classic King of Wands. And you have this here with the Ace of Swords, the Sun twice, which is all about fun, happiness, good times. So I think you're very much excited. You're really very excited about this potential, about this new beginning. You then have the Justice card, which says that this is your karma. You deserve this, okay? When people say this is your karma, sometimes people misunderstand what karma means. Like some people, when they hear this is your karma, they immediately assume that it's bad. No, it can, for example, be your karma to be rich, right? It can be your karma to have a business. It can be your karma to have money. It can be your karma to have a nice house, to have a nice family, to have a beautiful family. That is your karma. This is your karma. This is you. This is your thing. You get to have this, right? And it's probably because you've taken appropriate action up to this point. Everything that has led you up to this point is because this is what your karma is. This is yours to have. And it's also, by the way, your karma on how you decide on which way to go. Your action or inaction, it's the same thing. So basically the blueprint is here. The blueprint is here. It's for you. It's available to you. Will you execute the blueprint? Some of you, I think, are connecting to this. You have the Ten of Wands. You have the Death card. And you have the Six of Pentacles. The High Priestess, indicating intuition. And the Death card indicating transformation. Death card actually quite a positive card in the tarot. Because you're actually moving beyond this state here of the Hanged Man, where the Hanged Man may not be taking action. The Death card indicates that transformation is undergoing. Action is happening. So you intuitively feel like this is the time, right? This is your opportunity. This is the time, and you intuitively feel this. You're ready to bring in this transformation. You have the Six of Pentacles, which says in doing this, you are giving back to yourself and you're giving back to others. You're improving your situation by giving to this situation, right? So as you give to yourself, as you give to the situation, everything is falling into place here, because Six of Pentacles represents generosity. Not only generosity to others, but how generous you are being with yourself. And I would ask you, would you be generous to yourself if you didn't act on this, right? Would you be supporting yourself if you don't act on this, right? If this is your reading, that's what I would say. You then have the Ten of Wands here, which can represent a completion in the tarot. And it says that you're ready and willing to do the hard work and to handle everything that's in front of you. Energy on the bottom, time to celebrate. Time to pop a bottle here, Aries. That's what the Three of Cups is all about. You can even see the three friends here with the glasses of wine. This is something, you have something to celebrate. And I see you really stepping into a happy period of time here with two suns, the Three of Cups, all of these other amazing supporting cards. What I would say is this opportunity, this new beginning, this could be life-changing for you. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at what is coming forward here in the Kipper cards. And yeah, we'll see what's happening here in the Kipper energies. All right. You have High Honor, yep, Gift, Imprisonment, Mature Woman, Official Person, and Unexpected Income. Wow. The imprisonment is really just this energy here in the first row, the first column, which is the Nine of Swords, Moon, Hanged Man, Four of Swords. Just working through the mental barrier of starting. Many people have a hard time starting. And so working through that mental barrier of actually starting is what's coming forward here with the imprisonment energy. Then you have Official Person and High Honor. People are taking notice, okay? You have a major gift to share with the world here, and maybe even with others. And it seems like it would be wise to investigate this. I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to leave the reading here because this is incredible. Thank you so much for being here, Aries. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.